Hello, hello. I'm going to be streaming on YouTube, so everybody is welcome to be on camera, but just so you know, if you are on camera, you will be live on YouTube, which is all good. All good. We'll get started in just a few minutes. The one bite lie getting to you, Hannah? Yep.
Should I take it? Could I take my pills?
We'll get started here in just a minute or so. Hello, Jan. Hey, Brenda.
Hi.
Letting everybody know as they join that I am streaming this live on YouTube, which is fine. Everybody can absolutely be on camera. I just want to let everybody know that you are live on YouTube. So if you don't want to be live on YouTube, make sure you shut off your camera. But I'm love that the more people on camera, the better. And there goes people. Just they start falling away. They're like, what? People are still joining pretty quickly, so we're just gonna give it a couple of minutes. Oh, let's see how many people we got watching live on YouTube tonight. 8. Hey, there we go. Hey to the 8 of you watching me live on YouTube. That happened to my screen. Folks are joining. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I want to be respectful of your time. And as one last final warning, I've said it a couple of times, but I want to make sure everybody that joins hears it. We are streaming live on YouTube right now. Everybody can stay on camera because I want to see your beautiful faces. But for anybody that is like, I don't want to be on camera, well, then you're on YouTube right now, so you might want to shut your camera off. Don't pick your nose or nothing like that. okay? Because the whole world, like 8 people, are gonna see it. But the more faces on camera, the better, as long as no one's picking their noses, all right? And like 10 people are gonna log off and say, she's disgusting. Who's this girl? Who's she? Scotty Bunches, would you be so kind as to let folks in the Zoom room for me? And just mute folks as they
Yep.
come in if you don't mind. Let's see. Nope. Who did I just make host? Not Susan. Let's try that again. Make host. You are host, Scotty Bunches. What happened to your cool name on Zoom? It says Susan Hill, guys. That's boring. What happened to Scotty Bunches?
Because I had to do a work meeting one time and they almost didn't let me in because of like they didn't know who Scotty Bunches was.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. All right, guys. Well, welcome. Thank you again for joining me tonight. I love to have these Zooms. They've kind of been I don't know, my new favorite thing to do. Just these encouraging Zooms to, keep us all on track and keep us thinking about our health and focusing on the things that God wants us to focus on, right? Cheers. I'm just going to open a little uh, Zevia. May or may not had 5 of those today. I really need to lay off the Zevia, but it's been that kind of day. Okay, it's been a 5 can day. This is my 13th Zoom of 14 today, but I made it and I got my checklist almost completely done. I only have like 2 things left, and one of them is packing. And I can handle I can pack in 5 minutes flat. So, all right, we are going to talk tonight about that holiday lie that I don't know about you, but I have used many years in the past. The why just one bite, the just one bite lie, and why that can keep us stuck. Show of hands, how many of you have ever said or had somebody say to you, just one bite won't hurt? It's just one bite. Yeah, I see a lot of hands. And maybe it was from a family member waving a cookie under your nose. Maybe it was your own brain walking past the Christmas fudge that says, it's just one bite. It's just one bite. I saw your hands. We have all been there. I absolutely get it. I understand we've all been there. But in all honesty, has one bite ever politely just stayed one bite? It's a rare occasion, right? That one bite remains one bite. No, it usually brings its little bite-sized cousins. It's the whole plate is gone, and you're thinking, how did this happen? How did this happen? I had total intention to not eat these holiday junky treats, and here I am. I was just going to have one bite, and I just ate half a pan of fudge. I have eaten half a pan of fudge in my life before, peanut butter specifically. You walk past, it's one bite, it's another bite, it's another bite, it's another bite. That has definitely been a trend of mine in years past. But I want you to hear me tonight that that little whisper of just one bite is absolutely one of the sneakiest lies that keeps us stuck year after year after year after year. It looks small, but it truly packs a big punch. Tonight, I want to kind of rip the mask off that lie and expose it for what it is. Because if you don't expose a lie where it is, it keeps its power. But when you shine the light on the truth of what it is, that is where freedom comes in. Okay, so let's unpack what happens in our heads just a little bit. You're at the table. Aunt Linda says, no, not you, Linda. Obviously, we're not talking about you, Linda. We're talking about, we should say Aunt Betty. Everybody has an Aunt Betty. I think everybody has an Aunt Betty. You're at the table. Aunt Betty says, come on, honey, just one bite. It's just one bite of my pecan pie. And your brain starts the Olympics. I've been good all week. I deserve it. Well, it would be rude to say no. I'll work it off tomorrow. Well, it's Christmas. The calories don't count, right? We tell ourselves it's Christmas. It's the holidays after all. This season is so short. I need to be able to enjoy treats on the holidays. Anybody else ever felt that way or just me? Yeah, yeah. The gymnastics routine of the century. Twisting, flipping, sticking the landing right into a pile of sugar. I have been there more times than I can account. But here's the problem, and I've learned this over the past 5 years of being 100% on plan. One bite is not harmless. One bite is a spark, and sparks start big fires. Every massive fire that you have seen spread wild on TV started with a spark. So let's anchor this biblically, because if you've been part of my coaching or you've been around for a while, you know that I feel it's very important to anchor these truths biblically. In Genesis, Eve did not eat the whole tree. She didn't eat the bark and the leaves and the whole tree. She took a bite. One bite opened the door. And that is how the enemy works. He doesn't shout, ruin your health forever, eat a whole pan of fudge. He just whispers, just this once. It's just one taste. It's just, what's one bite gonna hurt? It's just one bite. And when we agree with that whisper, that's where the fall begins. That's where the downward spiral begins for so many of us. Okay, let's call it what it is. One bite won't hurt is not just a phrase, it is a trap. It is a trap that I myself have fallen into year after year after year after year after year. And I was completely sick of falling into that trap. The first year that I stayed 100% on plan happened when I got through the holiday season. In 2020, I did not plan to make a commitment to stay 100% on plan, but ended up staying 100% on plan. Because of the encouragement and the support of other women, I stayed 100% on plan. I didn't let the one bite sneak in anywhere. I was determined and resolved that I was going to stay on plan 100% at least through the holidays. And then when January comes, we'll decide if we're going to stick with this 100%. When I finished the entire holiday season, excuse me, 100% on plan, I realized that if I can get through the holiday season 100% on plan, why am I ever choosing to go off plan? If I can get through Halloween candy being everywhere at the office, if I can get through Thanksgiving potlucks, we had one every week at the office from October to November. If I can get through all the Christmas potlucks and the parties and the get-togethers and the giveaway baskets full of chocolate, if I can get through all of that without just one bite, then why am I ever going off plan? Think of it like, excuse me, a dam. There's one small crack, and it doesn't seem like much, it's just a little crack. But pressure builds over time, and another crack starts, and another crack starts, and another crack starts. And if you've ever felt that kind of pressure, before long, the whole wall of the dam it gives way. And we find ourselves a year later going, what just happened? I was on plan consistently, and now I'm off plan consistently. The whole wall came crashing in, and it started with one bite on vacation or one holiday meal or one this. One, I started with a small little pick at the crack of the wall of the dam. That is what happens when we keep saying just one bite. One compromise weakens the wall, then another. Then it becomes another compromise, then another compromise. And before long, you're standing in rubble wondering, why can't I stay on plan? And science actually agrees with this. Sugar lights up our brain like fireworks. If you have ever watched on YouTube videos of the reaction of the brain to just a meal that has sugar in it, it's no wonder our cravings get woken up so much with sugar. Those cravings can be asleep, and sugar awakens them literally like fireworks. You think you're just having a taste, and it's not that taste is evil or bad, but if you struggle with sticking to healthy eating, that one taste lights up your brain like fireworks. Your brain literally is throwing a block party at one taste is all it takes. And for me, that one taste snowballed every time into 2 tastes, into a half a pan of fudge, into a whole season off plan. The next year, waiting until summer to go, I really should get back on plan. First Peter says, be alert and of sober mind. The enemy, your enemy, the devil, prowls, I can't talk tonight, around like a roaring lion. Do you know how the lion attacks? He doesn't charge the whole herd. He waits for the one who lags behind. He waits for the one who is the weak spot. That one bite has been my weak spot. And I absolutely believe, after being 100% on plan this time, that that is what the Lord called me to. And I know that my weak spots, I cannot open them up to the devil prowling around like a roaring lion. I know that I have to protect that. So, why do we believe the lie? Why do we cave? Usually, the biggest reason is people pleasing. That when I ask people, what is the reason you find yourself going off plan? It's usually cravings that I felt I couldn't say no to, or because I felt like I had to. People pleasing. We don't want to offend Aunt Betty and her pie. We don't want grandma thinking that we don't love her cookies. But hear me loud and clear. Saying no to food is not saying no to your people. We confuse the two all the time. That if I say no to Aunt Betty, I'm going to hurt her feelings. Aunt Betty, I promise you, can hold her own. I have said this for years that if Aunt Betty is really that offended because you didn't eat her pie, that Aunt Betty has got to deal with that, not you. That's just something that Aunt Betty has to work through. Saying no to food is not saying no to people. Your worth as a daughter, as a mom, as a friend has nothing to do what you eat off someone else's plate, what they offer you off their plate. That has nothing to do with you. The other reason we tend to cave is we give ourselves a permission slip. I've been so good. I deserve it. I deserve this treat. I have worked so hard. You know what? I deserve those Hershey Kisses with the little Christmas colors that are dinging on the commercial, and now they're in a bowl in front of me. I deserve those. But the truth is, what you don't deserve is bondage. You deserve freedom. And you don't earn joy by caving. You earn regret. You earn guilt. Now, I'm not saying we should feel guilty if we have something off plan. I'm not saying we should be filled with remorse and regret, but that is the feeling that comes, especially if you have committed to focusing on your health. That is a feeling that shows up. The other thing is the perfection trap. I already messed up once, I might as well keep going. Listen to me, friend. One misstep is not a free for all. If you trip on one stone, do you sling yourself down the whole set of stairs? If you spill a tiny bit of milk on the floor, do you dump the whole jug out? If you drop an egg on the floor, do you fling the whole dozen of them on the floor so that you have to clean them all up? No, that's completely illogical, but we do that all the time with our health, don't we? I already had one. I might as well have two. I might as well eat the rest of the day off plan. I might as well eat the rest of the week off plan and get back to it Monday. Well, it's November. December is coming and Christmas is hard. I might as well wait until January 1st. Does anybody ever done that in here, or is it just me? I have done that. My usually, you know what? January 1st is coming. Start somewhere around October 30th. Right after all the trunk or treat things and the candy, I say to myself, or I used to say to myself, you know what? January 1st isn't that long away. I'm just going to wait until then. It sounds silly, right? To say, let's throw away 2 months over a bag of Reese's. But I have done that over and over and over in my life. I end up January 1st feeling gross because of all the junk that I've eaten. I feel regret. I feel wish that I had stayed the course. All of that leads to a feeling that I was done experiencing, that I was tired of experiencing. That perfection trap is no longer a part of my story. I used to think that if I said no to somebody, especially like at work when I used to work in an office, that if I said no to some treat that somebody brought in, that people would see me as rigid or legalistic, like, oh, she's so legalistic with her choices. She'd never go off plan. That I had a lot of concern about what people thought or said about me. I don't nearly as much anymore, but that was something that I struggled with a lot. I didn't want that kind of attention. But what they actually saw, because I never said no to the treats, to the goodies, to the ordering out, to the extra sauce, to this, to that, to the other thing. I never said no. They saw me struggling to walk up the stairs. They saw me groaning because I overate. They saw me exhausted and miserable with swollen feet and hip issues and all of these things. And that didn't exactly scream freedom. And I cannot tell you how good it feels to be free of that. And that desire to please anyone else with my health choices other than my God. My God is the only one that I am concerned with when it comes to my food choices. The truth about one bite might feel small, but it builds momentum in the wrong direction, in the direction we don't want to go. One bite doesn't necessarily affect your waistline, but it affects your mind, it affects your spirit, it affects your confidence, and it also affects your health. One bite, we've talked about this before. If you've ever been part of one of my methylation classes, I've told you how one choice like that impacts your methylation and how well your body methylates for 6 weeks. One off plan meal, 6 weeks of poor methylation. One bite can steal tomorrow's energy because of where that one bite leads. It can steal today's peace. It can steal your sense of victory. One act of obedience, however, builds momentum in the direction you're trying to go. Every single time you say no to that lie, you're saying yes to freedom. Every time. Every time you pass the plate and say no, thank you, you are flexing a muscle that is growing stronger and stronger. I have no problem saying no, thank you anymore. None. And I will often get, are you sure? You don't want? I got it the other night at Logan's Roadhouse. The waitress brought the fluffiest rolls I had ever seen in my life. Okay. They were beautiful rolls, okay? These rolls. Fluffy, big, and buttery. And she said, you don't want one? And I said, no, thanks. Are you sure? Like, how could I possibly say no to these rolls? In the past, I probably would have taken one even if I didn't eat it and put it on my plate and just kind of, hidden it because I was worried. I'm not like that anymore. Now I can own my choices. No, I'm good. I don't eat that. Thanks. I don't want that. No, thank you. Whatever. I want to talk about some practical tools to help you defeat that lie this holiday season as you head into it. We're in October. Well, we're not in October. We're 2 days away from October. And I can't even believe I'm saying that, first of all. September, I have said this every month of this year. You're getting to be older when you say, my, how time flies. That's what I do all the time now is I talk about how fast time flies, but it's so true. September just started. Halloween, whether you choose to celebrate that or not, candy is everywhere, right? It's in your face. It's in the aisles when you walk into Walmart. You can smell the chocolate when the doors open. It's going to be everywhere, whether you participate in it or not. You will be surrounded by those things. That season is coming at us hot. It's coming at us real fast and in a hurry. So I want to give you some practical tools to arm you. I don't want to preach at you. I want to arm you with tools that you need to make changes this season, to do it differently than you have in the past. I want you to come up with yourself, and you can come up for one for yourself, and you can write it in the chat. It's great for other folks to see yours as well, but to come up with a boundary phrase. What is a boundary phrase that you can live by this year? So that when somebody approaches you or asks or offers, you can, especially if you're feeling pressure, you can have a phrase in place. Maybe it's, no, thank you. I feel better when I pass. I appreciate it, but no, thank you. Maybe it's, oh, that looks amazing, but I've already decided not to have that. Thank you. Maybe it's, I got the diabetes. All right. I don't have diabetes, but I have pulled that card more than once. I can't. It's too much sugar. I have diabetes. Do you know how many times? I'm not saying it's good to lie, but I have said that more than once. I've pulled it. My doctor doesn't want me eating the sugar. I have pulled those cards more than once, and it's okay. Maybe it's I'm saving room for something else here that I love. That's a great one. No, no, thanks. I'm saving room for something else that I really love. Say them out loud, write them down, okay? Seriously, humor me. Write them down and practice it this week. No, thank you. I feel better when I pass. Whatever it is, I'm saving room for something else I love. Muscle memory. Be prepared to use that. Make it your motto for this holiday season so that you are prepared and armed when you go into a situation. Because when you plan ahead and you pre-decide, you're way more likely to succeed than when you just show up and hope for the best. Okay? Plan ahead is another great thing. We all know when holiday parties are coming, it's very rare that there's a surprise holiday party. We know, okay, I'm going Saturday night to this event. There's going to be a potluck at church or work or whatever this day. Don't show up hungry. I often pre-fill to a lot of events and different things with protein milk. It's not a lot, but it is enough to kind of fill that void. So I don't go in feeling just ravenous and ready to eat whatever is served. Don't show up hungry. Eat a good, whether it's an on-plan meal, whether it's pre-filling with some protein. Another thing I really like to do to plan ahead is to bring my own THM dessert to share. Yes, I may use all my healthy ingredients for other people that don't necessarily always appreciate sugar-free desserts, but that's okay. You can make a small one, or you can just sneak in a piece of cake in your pocket. No one's gonna know. I have snuck in on-plan cake to the movies before, okay? You can sneak in a piece of on-plan cake, stick some cheesecake under your shirt. It's okay. Bring a dessert for other people to share. I always do that when I go to an event. If it's an appropriate place for me to bring something, sometimes it's not appropriate, but if it's an appropriate place, I bring two things. I bring a delicious salad of some sort, whether it's a taco salad or like a Greek salad, something that I know I'll like and can fill me up, and a dessert. So that if the only thing on that buffet table is my salad and my dessert, I'm good. I've got it. I know that I'm on plan no matter what. I do that quite often. I show up with two things and I look like an overachiever. And, you know, I like that. I like to be recognized for doing a lot. The other tool that I really want to send you into this season with is scripture. Anchoring these decisions in scripture. 1 Corinthians 10:13. No temptation has overtaken you except which is common to mankind. The temptation you are experiencing is no different than anybody else has ever experienced, okay? God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. When you are tempted, he will also provide you a way out so you can endure it. Your way out may be that boundary phrase that you've just decided on. Your way out might be walking to the other room. Your way out might be bringing the on-plan choices. God promises there is a way out. And I truly believe, you know, I truly believe every area of our life can be worship. And if I make a commitment to God that I'm going to honor him with my body and my choices, a potluck can be worship. And how I handle that and the choices that I make and what I choose to feed my body, absolutely 100% can be worship. Rehearse in advance too. Don't wait until the cookie is in your face. Rehearse that phrase now. Decide ahead of time what you're going to say and swap the script. Every time you hear one bite won't hurt, answer it back with truth. One bite won't hurt. One bite could derail me. When I hear one bite won't hurt, I think one bite could derail me. My phrase is, that's not my food. I use that phrase all the time. That's not my food. Someone mentioned as I was doing some education a while ago that they noticed that behind me there was Hershey's on the desk behind me. There's Hershey's Nuggets. And this person said they were so distracting. I could see those Hershey's Nuggets. I use the phrase all the time. That's not my food. Those Hershey's Nuggets, they're not my food. And I've gotten to the point of using that phrase that those nuggets can sit there they're still sitting over there. They can sit there all the time and I have no idea, no concern, no worry. It doesn't bother me whatsoever because it's not my food. Pick a phrase that works for you in situations like that and live by it. Okay. One act of obedience has the ability to set you free. Those little acts of obedience stack up over time. here's what I want you to take home tonight. You are not weak for wanting the holiday treats. Grandma's fudge. I can't even think. I'm so ingrained in Trim Healthy. I can't even think of any holiday treats that used to be the horrible fruit cake, whatever it is, the apple pie, the stuffing, the cornbread stuffing. I hear that one a lot. How am I going to get through Thanksgiving without such and such stuffing? You're not weak for wanting those. You're just human. But you are also spirit filled. You are also equipped and you have the authority to say no. It's already been given to you, but I am handing it to you right now. You have authority over your choices. I have yet to go to a Thanksgiving party where Aunt Betty took a spoon in the pecan pie and pinned somebody to the ground and shoveled it in their throat. Everyone has the ability and the opportunity and the authority to say no, thank you. But you have to resolve ahead of time. That's why I'm teaching this in the beginning of October. We have the opportunity to build and strengthen that muscle as that time comes closer. So we're not waiting until we're sitting at the table with Aunt Betty's pie. We know now ahead of time what our plan is because we're prepared and we have phrases that will help us. That that is where breakthrough happens, you guys. Those little pre-decided things is where breakthrough truly, truly happens. So those are my biggest tips for you tonight. They are how I get through the holiday season. One other thing that I do often at the holiday season is to make treats. So I will make, especially around Halloween. Listen, we pass out candy and I will make candy because I don't want to look at I can say that's not my food, but I can smell those Reese's going into those little kids' bags. Listen, I will make treats for myself, not to binge on, but to have in place of those off-plan treats. It is okay to prepare. Commitment doesn't equal deprivation. Commitment is decision making, it is planning. And it is okay to make on plan treats. As part of Holy Healthy Holidays, one of the things that we've done every year is to make holiday treats. In October this year, we're going to make 100 grand bars. Miss Cindy Wetzel, she tried them out today and made them, and she said they were really good. We're going to make Kit Kat bars, which I'm looking forward to. We're going to make a Brussels sprout chicken apple skillet thing. That's not the real name, but it's something like that. We're going to be making that. We will make Thanksgiving treats. We always make a lot of treats. The very first year that I did Holy Healthy Holidays, I went hardcore and I was like, we are going to make so much candy. You're not even going to be able to believe it. Now I make two candies in a special, what do we call it? Spooky sweets, I think we always call it. We make two candies, but year one, we made five on the first night. And in 2 hours, we made five different types of candy. There was chocolate in places that chocolate just doesn't belong. It was on top of my cabinets. I'm 5 foot tall. My cabinets were at 12 feet. There was chocolate on top of them. I think when I moved out of my house in Maine, there was still chocolate on the fridge handle that I just hadn't gotten off yet. It was everywhere, but it was fun. And I had treats to last me through the season. Last year we made, I don't know, two or three. I still have some in my freezer. That's how many treats I made. I still have Halloween candy from last season in my freezer. There's no reason to deprive ourselves when there's amazing, healthy, delicious treats that we can make as trim healthies. There's so many amazing recipes out there, and I try to create new ones every year. Some of them are amazing wins, and some of them might never be repeated. You just never know. And then some there, what did I make last year? Was it last year, Cindy, that we made the cheesy Gouda Brussels sprout thing? Was that last year? Year before? that has become a staple in some of our houses. We make that all the time. So there's some really fun recipes that come out of Holy Healthy Holidays. I want to take a moment, if I can, to share with you Holy Healthy Holidays that starts on Wednesday. If you've been around Trim Healthy for very long at all, you have heard the term WIZZY. You've wisdom. We don't even use the word wisdom anymore. It's just that's such a long word. So we shorten it to WIZZY. It makes so much more sense to shorten it. WIZZY, wisdom principles, are a truly life-changing for a lot of people way of tightening up your trim healthy journey so that if you are struggling with insulin resistance, PCOS, stubborn weight loss, any difficult loss, stalls, things like that, postmenopause weight that you can't seem to budge, wisdom applies slightly different principles than foundational THM that are not scary. I've heard many people say, but I don't want to have to give up this or that or the other thing. They're not scary. They're simple tweaks and changes that honestly, most of us who have been eating the wisdom ways have discovered they're actually more satisfying. They're actually more filling and more satiating and just amazing, the wisdom recipes. So starting October 1st, when Holy Healthy Holiday starts, I will be handing out menus that are wisdom principles. They're complete wisdom recipes, menus. For the entire month of October, November, and December, I'll be passing out Octobers on October 1st. And we will be doing wisdom together for anybody that feels that that's the extra push that they need. Foundational menus are still available, but I will be offering wisdom menus for the entire 3 months. And into those wisdom menus, I have added things like our Brussels sprout thing that we're going to have. I've added Kit Kats and 100-gram bars for snacks because I don't want to do what I did to people a few years ago and make 5 different chocolates on Halloween and then start a fuel cycle the next week so nobody could eat the treats that they made. I won't ever do that to people again. I vow. I still have people that are not letting me forget that ever. Let's make 52 pounds of chocolate. And no, you can't eat any of it. We won't be doing that. I am working in all of our treats this holiday season into our menu so that we can enjoy both wisdom and some decadence. Decadence does not need to disappear completely. We just need to be wise about how we incorporate it into our journey. When you are part of Holy Healthy Holidays, on top of that WIZZY challenge, you get the cooking classes for free. You get small group accountability that is incredible. You get put into a Marco Polo group with other women who are like-minded and need the same encouragement and support that you do. And you can do life together. And it's really incredible to be part of these communities. You get weekly mindset coaching so that you can stay surrendered, not stressed. Learn new tips and tricks on staying on plan. A lot of mindset coaching because these changes really happen right here. This is where major change happens because let's face it, if all we needed to succeed was another cookbook, I don't know about you, but I'd probably be 110 pounds by now. If that's all that I needed was another cookbook. I have every recipe in the history of recipes for THM in a closet downstairs. I needed more than that. I need the mindset work. So that's what we work on in Holy Healthy Holidays. It is a great time to be part of Holy Healthy Holidays. Now, if you choose to come and join us this season, I'm going to put the link in the chat and I'll put it on YouTube as well. If you'd like to join us this season, because you joined tonight, I'm offering a promo code for new clients. That promo code is the lie, THELIE is the promo code you want to use, and that will save you $20 off the cost of the entire quarter. If you choose to do a monthly payment instead, that will save you $20 off. Whoops, I just started YouTube to share it out there and started hearing myself talk. I don't know what I was gonna say. It will save you $20 off the monthly one time if you use that promo code the lie. So what do you got for questions for me tonight? Do you guys have any questions or thoughts about this topic? I'd love to hear from you. You can just come off mute. And I can see you on YouTube too if you have questions there. I'm going to scroll back in the chat and see if I missed any questions. One bite brings all the bites to the yard. Meredith, that is so. Yeah, Lori. And yes, Lori says, my thing is not the desserts, it's the homemade rolls. I am with you, sister. Bread, yeah, I'm with you. Sprouted rolls, though, I have found, I've been making those, I think it's my Montana Kitchen or my Montana, whatever her thing is. And she has 10-minute sprouted rolls. Those things are actually really good, and my husband even loves them. They make great sandwich thins. They make great rolls for dinner. My husband loves them, and they're so simple to make. They're so simple to make. And Meredith said you can. She mentioned stuffing and dressing. I call it stuffing, but down here I think they call it dressing, which I just can't get on board with. It's stuffing in my head. But you can use the sprouted rolls for that too. And it makes amazing stuffing. I made stuffing last year from Publix sprouted bread, and it was fabulous with that sprouted bread. It was a good old heavy crossover with lots of butter and little carrots and, what is that stuff? What do they call that? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? The carrots and not tomatoes, carrots and celery and onions that you put in your stuffing, that stuff. Anyway, stuffing. Oh, Susan muted
Sorry.
me. There we go. That's okay. That's okay, Susan. You tired. Bringing your own healthy snacks lets you participate in eating and not generating questions about why you're not engaging. I like that. You don't have to talk to anybody if you're eating your own healthy treats, right? Let's see. Yeah, that's amazing, Cindy. Stopped eating sugar and my migraines went away. That says a lot, doesn't it? It really says a lot. I eat an ON 30-gram protein shake prior to meals sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. Mary, one thing that I do quite often is I like 95% chocolate from what's that company? Lindt. The 95%. I love that. I love that stuff. And I like to bring a square of that places because it's so dark and so satisfying that it stops the cravings for everything else. It really, really works well. We just got home from celebrating our oldest two daughters' birthdays. Two cakes plus two pieces the restaurant brought out. Pizza, breadsticks. I made an on-plan single pizza crust and cut it into small breadstick bites and ate those with a huge salad along with two. You are awesome. Good for you, Kelly. Do you know I showed up at Olive Garden the other day with sourdough bread? Not one person looked at me funny either when I pulled sourdough bread out. Well, my husband kind of did. He thought I was weird. He's like, "Why is there bread in your purse?" I said, "You're not a trim healthy. You have no idea, okay? I travel with bread. It's my emergency purse bread, okay? I pulled that out to dip in my soup and it was fabulous. I didn't miss those breadsticks even once." Our sugar-free chocolates. Okay, so Russell Stovers. Yes, they are considered a personal choice. They can cause major stomach upset, but girl, I've learned that if you just have two, at least in my case, they don't cause stomach upset. Now, if you have three, it's all over. It's all of the whole world gets to pay for it. And I complain and cry and moan and say, and tell Maren, don't you ever let me buy those again. Okay. But if I have two, they're fine. They are totally personal choice. They have some things that are not ideal in them, but they are, I think they are a great alternative. I've gotten so that I prefer, well, I wouldn't say I prefer dark chocolate, but I can choose dark chocolate over them because even though dark chocolate is really good, what I wish I had is the Trim Healthy Butterfly milk chocolate. I'm still devastated over that loss in my life. There has not yet been a chocolate that has come out that has anywhere come close to that milk chocolate from Trim Healthy. But I will have a piece of dark chocolate, sometimes the little Aldi's bars of 85%. They seem to really shut that sweet tooth down. The other thing that really shuts that sweet tooth down for me is a half a cup of kefir with some protein powder in it. If you're a kefir drinker, that little bit of kefir, even a quarter cup at night with some protein powder in it that's sweet. I use strawberry because I can't stand chocolate and kefir together. But so I use the strawberry and the kefir and I just sip on that at night. That shuts those cravings down like nobody's business. It's something about the probiotics in it, the gut brain axis and all of that. It really does work. It's a good thing, Lisa, that you can make pizza on plan, right? I love me some Mary Malone sprouted pizza crust pizza. I will do that quite often on the weekends. But, I if the family is going to order pizza out, I love to have that. So
How much protein powder do you add to a half a cup of kefir?
I do about a tablespoon because usually I've just had dinner. Most of the time I've had dinner and it's within an hour that I do that. So I usually just do a tablespoon. It's just enough and it's not too crazy sweet by adding, I find if I add too much protein powder, it's too sweet. So yeah, I just use about a tablespoon in it. Consistency with kefir is important. One cup of kefir here and there doesn't change what you crave, but if you drink that consistently night after night after night, it literally changes the cravings that you have. It changes that gut brain connection and you will have different cravings. You will find yourself craving different things if you're consistent with your kefir because healthy gut bugs crave things differently than unhealthy gut bugs. It's bizarre and totally true. So, all right, my friends. Well, that's what I have for you tonight. I hope it inspired you to stay on plan this holiday season. I'm telling you, if you stay on plan through the holiday season and you push through and you do the hard things that I know you're capable of doing, because if I can do it, Lord knows you can do it. I believe that with every ounce of who I am, that if I can do it, anybody can do it. You guys, my history of food addiction, it wasn't just eating off plan here and there. It was severe food addiction that I mean, I still to this day struggle with. Those of you who are already in Holy Healthy Holidays on Wednesday will hear my education where I talked this morning at 7:16 a.m. I was sitting in my chair recording education and I had the worst craving for McDonald's chicken nuggets and a Diet Coke. 7:16 in the morning, 5 years sugar sober. Okay? I have learned how to deal with those things and learned how to say no and learned how to be consistent. I have just hit on Friday, I was on the THM potty. I recorded the THM potty with Pearl and Serene and Danny, which was so much fun, by the way. Um, that was my 5 year anniversary of being 100% on plan. 5 years of being 100% on plan. You guys, I don't recognize who I am today. I don't recognize who I am. I filmed exercise videos in Nashville last week. I do not recognize who I am. And if I can go from where I was to what I'm doing today, I know that you can stay on plan. I believe it with every ounce of who I am. Okay. Um, so, Jess, I don't do 1 month, but what I do is if you sign up for the monthly and then just cancel before it auto renews. So, if you sign up today, you would have the entire month of October. As long as you canceled before it charged again, it would be October 29th. So, if you canceled any time before then you would have that full month. You get 1 month per payment. So that's what a lot of people do. If they want to come for 1 month, they just sign up for the auto renew, and you can even cancel, like sign up today, cancel tomorrow, and that will still give you 1 month. It will just stop the auto renewal. I just realized how I'm catching a glimpse of myself on YouTube in my hands. It might be the fact that I'm on my fifth can of Zevia and I've had a little too much caffeine today, but I realize how much I talk with my hands. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me tonight. I love you guys. If you are already in Holy Healthy Group Coaching, we have Zoom in 11.